Big headline today in the D.C. crime drama is 6 GOP states sending National Guard troops to D.C. How nice of them. Tennessee, Ohio, South Carolina, West Virginia, Louisiana, and Mississippi. You know who probably shouldn't think it's such a nice thing to do? The people living in certain areas of almost all of those states that have serious crime issues of their own. So why are they so anxious to get involved in helping D.C.? Now, the answer to that question takes us to the truth of what this is really about. Now, notice what I am not saying. I'm not saying that crime's not a problem in D.C. I'm not saying that fighting it by using federal resources is totally wrong or is a dictatorial move or that Trump is at fault for trying to do this. I'm not saying those things because I'm not against accepting that there is a problem. I just question the solution. Opponents of what's being done must be in the business of what is better, not just why Trump is bad. That's how you got into this position where your party is as low as it's ever been. So think about it. Do something different. Stop digging, okay? That's how we keep winding up on the wrong side of 80-20 issues in our two-party politics, because one side's got to be on one side, the other side's got to negate it. No-brainer concerns for the majority. That's what you look for in politics. That's why the left seem to accept, if not enable, a porous southern border, why they took trans rights too far, why they seem to condone allowing jihadis on campus to menace Jews. And now that D.C. is better off left alone, no matter the perception of people who live there. The facts are enough. The idea that more boots on the ground is the fix in D.C. Okay, let's take a look. Did you know that D.C. already has the most officers per capita in the country? And I'm not even including all the feds in the capital area, let alone the ones that have just been added. Did you know we actually don't even have to guess about what to do about crime in D.C.? You know why? Because they have been doing things themselves that has brought crime down to a 30-year low. Did you know that? 35% decrease in violent crime this year alone. Did you know that? Oh, it's fake news. Well, tell the Trump administration it's their numbers. That's according to the Justice Department. So now let's get to the real question. Why, and what can we learn from it, and what can we do more of? Well, first lesson, the economy. Nothing indicates proximity to crime than poverty in a community. But it's also progressive, data-driven policing and programs to offer opportunity and alternatives to crime. That's what's working there, and that's what we see working in cities across the country. So the red state pile-on is suspect, given their own problems. Why doesn't charity start at home with these states? Tennessee, Memphis? Are you kidding me? The highest crime rate. Nashville, top 20. Ohio, Cleveland, and Toledo are among the top 5. South Carolina, North Charleston is among the top 20. New Orleans, forget it. I mean, these are all way bigger problems in D.C., so why are they sending their own troops to a city that is trending down in violent crime? And you know the answer. It's to send a message. Now, part of it is benign, if misleading, that the president, MAGA, the red states, the conservatives, whatever you want to call half of our political spectrum, they want to fix things. They want to make you safe. There's nothing wrong with saying that. But there's another message that D.C. represents. What needs to be made great again. One of the couple dozen places in our country where you have more black and brown people than white. That message seems coded, wouldn't it? Like saying a museum is too much about how bad slavery was. To say the show of force is wrong because it makes it look like you're accepting the problem, okay? Saying that the show of force proves that Trump is a dictator is going too far. Because you had to know that if you flood a place with federal presence, military and stuff, you know it's going to keep people home, right? And we're seeing that in the first round of data from the D.C. Police Union. Carjackings, down. Robberies, down. Violent crime, down more. I know it was going down. I know we can't say what it was and what it wasn't. But to say what he just did was wrong is going to be a bad look. Now, before you say the opposite, well, then say it worked. I don't know that. Crime was already trending down. And I got to tell you, people living in fear of a military or policing presence is not the greatest look for America. And we're seeing that also in the data. How? Okay, so it's restaurant week, right? You got that where you live, right? Theirs in D.C. just had a 31% drop in reservations. Why? Because people get freaked out if they're guys with big automatic weapons all over the place and Humvees and all this other stuff. And the arrest data, take a closer look at it. Yes, they're making more arrests down there, but most of the arrests are related to immigration, not the violent crime. So the administration then sees this data, and what do? They call it fake news. Oh, so the data that's good for them is real, but the data that's bad for them is fake. Listen, that kind of nonsense adds to the trouble we have in society. It doesn't help us, okay? The point is, but, you know, Dems want to avoid looking like they're okay with the status quo on crime, okay? Because you have Democrats all over the country that are fighting crime in unique and effective ways. What they should be doing is showing that they have better ways to help than by invading with federal military presence. Like what? Look at your governor, Wes Moore. It's right there in Maryland. He's literally next door. Baltimore, homicide rate is at a 50-year low. Why? Because they took a holistic approach and looked at violence as a public health problem. So it's semantics? No, no. It's about the ingredients that go into it. The data, of course, the right communities that are policed the right way for the right reasons in the right ways, okay? Education, economic programs, alternatives to crime, opportunities to dignity, avenues to success, keeps kids busy, keep them off the street. He's provided a pathway for those who had already committed crimes to re-enter the workforce. Huge fix, crime drops. Fixing is how you fight it, as opposed to fighting the desire to fix. You see that distinction? It's a major Democrat problem. And that distinction, that difference of fighting the desire to fix it all versus having better fixes for your fight, that's why Democrats are at record lows of popularity. And let me tell you, I believe you guys are missing a huge opportunity with gerrymandering. Gerrymandering is a fundamental part of the fiasco, of the poison that is our two-party political system. This is why you have a 90% plus re-election rate for incumbents when they have under 35% approval. The solution is to break the party grip on the process. Fight for that. Die on that hill. Not if you can't beat them, join them. I am shocked by former President Obama. I've always respected more than anything else his measure, his sense of where to be. But this idea now is saying, yeah, California's doing the right thing, fight fire with fire. Why? What Trump is asking Texas to do is wrong. And it has not been done this way by Democrats or Republicans, let alone presidents, before. But how is the best answer to say fight fire with fire? I know Governor Newsom in California is getting good reactions from the left and the media for the moment by mocking Trump with all caps tweets and saying he changed and wants to rig his own election maps. That'll show him. So he changed to become more like what he used to oppose. Is that really what you want? May sound tough, I guess, but take it from a wannabe firefighter. The goal is to put fires out, not to add to them. There is a path to better through these midterms and for this country. Adding more fuel to the fire will only get more people burned. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.